all about the market shift. That is what I'm talking about today. I'm going to give you a brief overview of what is happening in the Salt Lake City market and kind of talk about that shift that we're seeing, and also give you a more practical thing of what I'm seeing every day out there with clients. So stay tuned. Hi, this is Melissa Ballman, and I'm a real estate agent here in the greater Salt Lake City area. So what that means, if you're looking at making a real estate move, I'd love to connect with you. Shoot me a text, send me an email, do what you got to do, but get in touch with me. But first, today we're talking about the market shift. It's no surprise that all the signs are pointing to a market shift with the interest rates increasing and people talking about recession, inflation, all of that. So I just want to kind of break down a little bit today of what we're seeing in the market, how it looks today, May 6th, 2022, compared to last year, but also give you some practical market insights of what I'm seeing every day that I'm out in the market with clients. So the biggest news to come out of the last 24 hours is that the feds have raised the interest rate 0.5%, which is the biggest increase at one time in 22 years. Now, this is not mortgage interest rates, but it does affect mortgage interest rates. So we do anticipate seeing a bit of an increase in those rates, which already, I'm hearing people getting 5.5% interest rates. I've even heard some getting quoted as high as 6% right now before that rate increase today. Now, if you have been watching my videos, you know the last couple of months I have been saying it over and over again. Sellers are going to have to start getting realistic because the market shift was coming. Well, looking at the numbers today, again, this is May 6, 2022, just after noon for the MLS here in Utah, for the entire state, the Wasatch Front MLS system reported for the first time in I don't even know how long, we actually hit 4,000 active residential listings in the state of Utah. So our inventory is increasing. To give you an idea, this day last year in 2021, our inventory was about 2,400 listings, which means from last year to this year, we're seeing almost a 66% increase in active listing inventory. Now, another thing we're starting to see in the market is price reductions. To give you an idea, since May 1st till today, we have had almost 500 price reductions on the market. That is huge. Even a year ago or 6 months ago, you just really weren't seeing price reductions. Now, keep in mind, there's one particular property every single day I get an alert that it has dropped price a little bit and a little bit every single day. So it's not necessarily 500 properties, but it's 500 price reductions, which, like I said, that's a big deal because the sellers are seeing that they're not getting crazy prices like maybe their neighbor did 4 or 5 months ago. Now, I have touched on this for a couple of months and mentioned this, that more and more houses are falling out of escrow from going under contract and then becoming available on the market again. When I've talked about it before, though, it was the builders saying that they have a lot of people falling out of contract because of the raise in interest rates. Well, now we're already seeing it in existing home sales too. At least once a day, I'm getting an alert of things falling out of escrow and back on the market. I'm seeing words like motivated seller with price reductions. Again, it's been 2+ years since we have seen this kind of stuff, but it's not all doom and gloom for sellers. And we are still having a competitive buyer's market. So I want to share a little bit about that too, to give you that opposite, good news, bad news. I hope you're enjoying my video so far today. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell. That way you're alerted each week when I drop a new video. Okay, so with some of the kind of bad news, if you are a seller and knowing that the competition is going up and people aren't doing crazy things. I want to talk about what we're actually seeing in the market. And I had a client go under contract this week on a townhouse. And I want to point out that we did still compete against 2 other offers on this townhouse. But the important things to note on this that we haven't seen for a long time, I feel like I keep saying that, but I can't stress it enough. It's been years. Number 1, it was fairly priced. When I ran the comps, a recently sold in March went for $5,000 and a second one went for $15,000 over what this townhouse was listed at. So it was very fairly priced, but the offers they received that we competed against was actually below list price, and the second one was right at list price. We didn't have to do crazy things like we've been seeing, such as, appraisal guarantees, non-refundable earnest money. None of that was needed to win this bid and to get my buyer into that home. So that's just one example of the point I got to, and I've been saying for months. The sellers are having to get more realistic, but it is still a good buyer market. We still have multiple offers on properties. Even the home I recently listed for just over $4 million, that is typically a slower price range. Things don't sell as quickly, obviously, in that price range, but we've still had multiple showings and buyer interest, even at that plus $4 million mark. So if you've been on the fence thinking, I just don't want to jump in as a buyer and do all the crazy things that we've had to do for the last couple of years to win a house, this may be the time for you to jump in there and start testing the waters. Now, I know with the interest rates, it's a tough pill to swallow, so to speak, because 1 year ago, 2 years ago, things were significantly different with interest rates and affordability than what they are now. But just know, buyers feel a little bit more optimistic right now with this information that's coming out, the inventory going up. And the buyers that are out there are very, very serious. And what I'm finding from sellers, like I mentioned at the beginning, I'm seeing things like sellers motivated and the price drops. Sellers are like either they're just testing the waters and late to the party for the crazy equity and sales that were happening the last year or two, or they really need to sell because they're relocating for work or various reasons. So keep that in mind. Don't be scared. Explore and let's see what's going on. So I wanted to keep this very brief today and just very high level of what we're seeing in the market with the shift. And like I said, it's not all doom and gloom. If you've been thinking about making a real estate move, I'd love to connect with you. I'm always here to help. If you have any questions about the local market, you're looking at relocating, whatever it is, feel free to reach out to me. But as always, make it a great day.